Today I have some amazing new Star Wars jewelry items from RockLove, so if you are a Rey or Ahsoka fan, stay tuned.
Hello there, welcome to the Kessel Runway show.
Hello there and welcome to the Kessel Runway. Today we have a new arrival from RockLove Jewelry. RockLove have been doing a few fabulous releases about female Star Wars characters, including Ahsoka and Rey, and those are two of my favorite characters. So of course I had to pick up a few of the new items. Now in the past they did a wildly popular blue and white enamel Ahsoka ring, which sold out very quickly. I was very fortunate to be able to pick one up during that initial release, and so it's been a couple of years and fans have been asking for more or a re-release, so they've come up with a new line of blue and white enameled Ahsoka pieces. So I was very excited to be able to pick those ones up to add to my collection, and they have just arrived. A little bit of a delay through international postage. The pandemic has been having an effect on a lot of postage, both in the US and internationally, so it's always a little bit of an anxious wait, hoping these things will arrive safe and sound, but this one's here and I'm excited to get starting to have a look into it. It's not open, so this is my first time actually having a look inside, so I'm very excited to get stuck into it. So this is one of their larger boxes, as you can see, that they tend to use for multiple items. Ooh, okay. This is my first time ordering one of the Kyber crystal pieces, and so I am fascinated that this one has a different box. I'd seen previews of it on the website, but I hadn't got to see it in person. So as you can see, this one is one of their new Kyber crystal designs with this window box, and we have two classic pieces in there. I like the fact that RockLove uses cardboard boxes to ship their items. We don't see any plastic packaging or packing peanuts that are just going to end up in landfill, so I like that. And it's a really pretty presentation. They have these sort of little cutouts that mean that their boxes sit very neatly in the box and they don't ship around during shipping. So you can see we've got that beautiful foil print on the front of the RockLove boxes. These are their classic boxes, which have a sleeve that pulls off so you can sort of use them for display, and they fit very neatly in these little shipping containers. I quite like that print. I think that that's super pretty, but unfortunately this is probably going to end up in the bin. I don't need the shipping containers, but I do like that they go to that little extra effort. So I'm probably going to take a look at this one first because I can see it through the window and I really want to get stuck in and have a look at this. So at the bottom it has some text. We can see it there reflected in the foil, and it says, "At the heart of every lightsaber is a Kyber crystal." And then on the side it has, "May the Force be with you," and on the other side. So that's really quite neat. This box is just a little bit of dusty. It's traveled a fair way, so I'm not surprised. On the back we have a fair amount of text describing the lightsaber Kyber crystal capsule collection. They're talking about the fact that these are manufactured crystals on the back here, and they're each handcrafted, cast in artisan brass, including contrast plating and polished silver, distressed bronze, black rhodium, yellow gold and rose gold, with accents in hand-painted enamel. So of course this is a full collection. Each one is going to have different accents, so they're just describing the collection there with all the different accents, but I'm very excited to take a look in. This is a interestingly new box from their others. It lifts open and then we can see we have some text here with the crystal package there. It says, "A Kyber crystal is attuned to the Force and connected to a Jedi Knight on a deeply personal level. In this way, a lightsaber is an extension of a Jedi's Force awareness." So we can see that text there reflected at the top with this window with sort of a little bit of a hyperspace type sort of, or crystal sort of flare there around the window. So I'm very excited to get stuck in. We can see the packaging there. So very excited to pull this one. These Kyber crystal necklaces are a little bit more expensive than RockLove's standard line, so I was kind of very curious to see how they would be packaged. Okay, so very securely packaged in here. We can see we've got little ties here. We've got a little plastic thing with the rest of the cord sellotaped in there. I'm hoping I can get this off without too much fuss, because the sellotape is applied directly over the cord, which makes me a little bit nervous to pull this off. It sometimes can sort of rough up cords or leave residue. I was kind of hoping that the sellotape wouldn't be directly on the cord. I know some others in this Kyber collection are on, oh, that did pull a little bit. They're on chains, and this is, see, you can see the sellotape kind of pulls some of the fluff off, which isn't my favorite thing, but I understand the desire to keep these things from moving around during shipping. So I'm just going to carefully pull this out of the insert. So now we've got elastic cords. So I'm going to see if I can thread this through so I don't need to cut it. Let's see. Okay, there we go. Okay, so we have extracted the the necklace from it. So I'm just going to, they always have, well, not always, but they often have this sort of foam packaging around their lightsabers and jewelry. Now I'm just going to take a moment and say that this is absolutely stunning. I have to say, I have to be honest, I was a little on the fence about how much I liked the lightsaber, the Kyber crystal collection. It's a little bit higher priced than some of their standard stuff, but this crystal is just beautiful. I'm just going to put it on a tray so I can show it to you close up. That crystal is beautiful. It's reading a lot better than the renders, and it's one of those things where you know it's looking better in person than it did on the website. That is just absolutely beautiful. I can't stop staring at it. I really want to touch it, but I know that I'll leave fingerprints on it, so I'll save that for later. I just want to show you guys just how beautiful this thing is. Now, Rey's lightsaber has a number of different metal finishes in it. The actual sort of lightsaber part is sort of a darker toned silver, and then we have this kind of gold teeth from the sort of lightsaber emitter that is holding that crystal in place. And then we have this brown leather cord, which of course feels very Rey. She wears a lot of brown leather in all of her outfits. Around her belt, she wears her brown leather wrist strap throughout the movies, so I feel like that is a really neat touch. I was a little on the fence because I felt like the sparkly finish of the crystal and the beautiful metal, it sort of felt like maybe I wanted it on a silver chain, but I do understand why it's on this leather strap. I'm still a little bit on the fence because this crystal is absolutely beautiful. I don't know if you can see that it's casting yellow light on the white felt underneath it, so you can see just sort of how translucent and how this one picks up the light underneath it. It is beautiful. Ooh, I'm super stoked with this one. I was a little on the fence, but I'm always very fond of lightsaber inspired jewelry, and Rey especially. She's one of my favorite Star Wars characters. So when they announced these, I was a little on the fence. I was like, okay, the lightsabers look a little stumpy, a little cut off. I don't know if I like it. But the more I looked at it, the more I was sort of intrigued. I sort of understood that it feels like they're doing it more as a lightsaber inspired design rather than trying to be sort of cut off lightsabers. If you focus more on the crystal being held with a lightsaber inspired sort of pendant base, I feel like the design reads a little better. They do call it the Kyber crystal collection. This isn't lightsabers specifically, so I feel like if you focus on the Kyber crystal, the design sort of feels like it sinks in and fits and reads a little bit better. So that is just absolutely gorgeous. And I know I've got other pieces of jewelry to go through, but this is already an incredible highlight, and I am just so stoked. I know that they're doing a full collection of these Kyber crystals. They have a sort of a blue Luke, a red Vader, there is a Kylo Ren, there is this Rey one, and coming up very soon there is going to be a Ahsoka Tano and Darksaber editions in this. And without giving too much away, there are 2 more previews in the line. It kind of looks like there is going to be maybe a Princess Leia in there, and if that is true, if there's going to be a Princess Leia lightsaber necklace, that one is going to be a beautiful. But just seeing these in person, I'm very, very impressed, and I'm super glad that I made that sort of a jump and ordered it. I'm definitely going to have a look at that one close up later, because that one is beautiful. So I'm just going to put that one on this for now. I can see why they wanted that very securely. I would be a little bit nervous if that beautiful gem was knocking around in the box during shipping. So that is absolutely beautiful. I'm really quite excited and blown away by that. So okay, so we've got these 2 now. I don't know which one is which. They don't say which one is which. So these ones are going to be Ahsoka, and I kind of want to, okay, let's go with this one. Okay, so I still don't know which one this one is. They and said that the first number of orders were going to include a signed card. So that one is actually slipped in here. I'd kind of forgotten about that in my excitement, because in the other Ahsoka Tano releases where they included a signed card from Ashley Eckstein, the voice of Ahsoka Tano, it was included separate in the box, and some of them were bigger than the boxes themselves. So this time they've done it as like a little insert into the box, and we can see here it has Ashley Eckstein, Ahsoka Tano, inspired by Ahsoka Tano from Star Wars The Clone Wars, voiced by Ashley Eckstein. And just behind the autograph you can see there is artwork of the jewelry itself, and we have Star Wars RockLove on that side. So not all orders came with this card. You had to be within a certain number. I don't remember exactly off the top of my head. It was a fair few hundred. So most of you would have been able to get this card if you placed your order on the day of release. And so these are the Ahsoka Tano earrings. Now in their box they've kind of flipped towards the back. They're stuck in there. Hopefully they're in there tightly. Let's see if I can just jostle them around the front. Okay, so you can kind of see them hanging a little bit better there. So I'm super excited to get these ones out. I was on the fence about whether I liked the ring more or the earrings more, and I knew that I had to have both because they match so well. So I'm just going to, these have got tiny little plastic stoppers on the back. I'm just going to pop them away. Now, trying not to wreck the little storage / display boxes that these earrings come in. They always make these beautiful boxes, but then I always feel like I'm going to damage them getting the jewelry out. Okay, so I'm going to just carefully snip this. See if I can get this foam off. Okay, there we go, that's one. I'm just going to pop that there. And then carefully snip these. Okay. I like that they cover all their jewelry with foam, make sure that nothing gets scratched during shipping. So you can see these beautiful dangle earrings inspired by Ahsoka Tano's montrals. So I've left one closed and one opened. We can see that these close with a sort of a pierced ear hinge hook here. so that they hang sort of side onto your ears when worn. They are of course inspired by Ahsoka's montrals with that shape. Of course, rather than them hanging separately, because this is open at the top, they have them joining at the tip at the bottom, which I think works quite well. It gives this sort of framed face shape, so we get that Togruta styling there without having to sculpt a face in the middle. So it works very well. This design is quite sort of abstract if you don't know that it's Star Wars, so it is one of those pieces that can sort of fly under the radar. It almost looks like zebra stripes or sort of black and white sort of animal stripes of some sort. We can see the design a little more clearer on the side, so you can see there it goes all the way around the side and the back. If you can just sort of see, they are sort of hollowed out so that there isn't as much weight, because these are enameled. It's not just silver, there is enamel over the top, which will add a little bit of weight to them. If you're not used to wearing heavy earrings, they're on the sort of medium range. They're not the lightest things, but they're by far the heaviest earrings that I have in my collection. So they should be fairly comfortable to wear even for long periods of time. But to me, that is a really nice addition to the enameled Ahsoka jewelry. Obviously this is inspired by her appearance in Rebels, as the card says, so that there's sort of a longer pattern print, which really gives the sort of beautiful elongated shape, which I think is just beautiful. So we can see, I'll just move those little stoppers there. Sorry, they actually say, well, it says from the Clone Wars, but I always sort of feel that this design is more of her fulcrum because it's a longer pattern there, but you can sort of see the shape there with the drawing on the card. So that's a beautiful addition. The previous pieces in the range included the original ring, a bangle, and then a sort of medallion pendant, but I think this one is got to be one of my favorite designs. The clasps snap together quite well. I know sometimes with these designs, if the little clasps that pinches that lever, if it's loose, then it can sort of feel like it might drop out of your ears, but it feels like these clasps snap together very well. I feel like the enamel is very clean, and it really does. It has a lovely high gloss, so it really picks up on that design, and so I think that that's a very, very pretty addition. These were stocked at both Her Universe and RockLove. Her Universe does not ship internationally, or especially for during the pandemic. So I was very, very happy that RockLove stocked these ones as well. It did it as a shared exclusive rather than just a Her Universe exclusive. So it meant international fans like myself could get a hold of them. And of course we have there the classic box. I probably won't put these back in here. I know that if you want to, the top and bottom connects like that and gives you sort of a display box, which means that you can put your earrings back on and have them sitting on your shelf. But I find this just a little bit fiddly to get jewelry in and out of. If you're the sort of person that wants to keep it as more of a collectible, then this is a beautiful way to do that. But I do like to wear my special pieces, so I'm probably going to have a dedicated earring holder for them and keep this box safely away. So I'm just going to have a look at the third and final piece from this unboxing. I know this is a little long, but these are beautiful pieces and I just want to really capture my initial reaction. So we have here another card. It has RockLove, and then it says inspired by Ahsoka Tano from Star Wars The Clone Wars, voiced by Ashley Eckstein, with her signature on there, which I think that wording is a little bit funny because it says The Clone Wars, but we know that this is her fulcrum headdress inspired by her appearance in Rebels. The first Ahsoka ring was inspired by the Clone Wars, so I feel like maybe they should have just changed the wording there, but of course Ahsoka is most known for the Clone Wars and her appearance in there, so I do understand why they are highlighting that. So this time we have the ring inserted lengthways, so that's not the best way to display it or store it, particularly since it's using the tension of the cardboard to sort of hold it in there. So I'm just gonna like Oh, okay, so it looks like this part was supposed to be sitting straight in there like that, but the sellotapes come loose, and so this has moved around. It's held in place with some foam inserted through the back, so this one should be a lot easier to get out than some of the other RockLove pieces. If I just squeeze that foam through there, then I can just pull that out there. So if you have seen the previous Ahsoka ring, this one is very similar. This time we have her headdress, I'll just put it on here, and longer sort of points at the top. So the original ring didn't have a headdress, it was just sort of just classically the blue and white, and it had shorter points. Now I'm a little bit on the fence about this one. I do own the original ring, and I'm a little bit worried that these points will make it a little bit more susceptible to knocking it into things when you're wearing it. You might accidentally knock it into door handles and stuff like that. So I think you'll need to be perhaps a little bit more careful about these points, but I understand why RockLove did this. They unfortunately were in a little bit of a conundrum. The first ring was released in only 1,000 units, and it sold out very quickly. It was limited edition, and if you market something as limited edition, then your sort of hands are tied. You can't really make more without breaking that edition, and the fans really wanted another opportunity. There were so many people that missed out and were terribly sad about that. I sort of have my own personal feelings about limited editions when it comes to Star Wars items, especially fashion that come in different sizes. It really does restrict how many people can own these beautiful pieces, and especially with a character like Ahsoka. She is so well loved and by a huge age range, men and women, boys, girls, everybody, and so I felt like limiting that first ring to 1,000 was a little bit of a misstep. So I am glad that they found a way to basically re-release, but then it's a separate design. It is a new design, so it isn't technically a re-release. It is sort of a 2.0 sequel ring, as you were, so more people could get a hold of it. And they released this one in much greater numbers, so more people could get a hold of it, and it was also stocked at Her Universe and RockLove, so international fans could get a hold of it, which is a brilliant choice again there as well. So I'm obviously a big fan of the original ring. I have it, I love it. This one is just as nice. I like the points, the brilliant sort of detail of the enamel. There's just that tiny little silver lines that define the white and blue enamel that just give it a really sort of pretty color. Obviously with enamel rings, you've got to be a little careful with them because enamel can crack, but it wouldn't, the design wouldn't read as well if it was done in metals. I think you do need that blue and white in there, and the enamel is such a brilliant way to portray that iconic contrast pattern that is Ahsoka. Obviously with the Ahsoka show coming out, her appearance in The Mandalorian, there is a growing number of Ahsoka merchandise and apparel, so it's becoming quite competitive to come up with unique and new Ahsoka jewelry designs, but I feel like this ring is a really good addition to my collection, even though I own the original ring. So I will be doing a follow-up video where I compare the original ring to this new one and have a look at all of the pieces all together, including the necklace, the bangle, these earrings, just to get a really feel of how the mini collection has progressed over the years since that very first ring release, and just to kind of give you guys a little bit of a closer look at all the items all together. So thank you so much for watching my unboxing. Oh, just before, this one has a small text on the inside of the ring where it says Survivor, because of course she survived the Clone Wars and we see her in Rebels, so that's like a little sort of hidden phrase on the inside of the band. Like the earrings, the top of the ring is hollow to take away from the weight, because obviously that would start to get a little bit weighty, but those are beautiful pieces. I had to wait a little bit longer, as I said. International shipping is a little bit of an slight headache these days for fans, but it's all worth the wait when there are beautiful pieces. And honestly, I cannot decide which of these pieces is my favorite. That Kyber crystal is just absolutely making my heart sing. It is beautiful. I fully see the attraction to this Kyber collection because that is just an absolutely beautiful piece. I can't wait to take more photos. I'm gonna wear this thing. It is absolutely beautiful, and I was a skeptic at first, and now I can easily see myself buying a couple more pieces from that collection because that is a beautiful way. Kyber crystals are so central to the Jedi, to lightsabers, and of course crystals make beautiful jewelry, so I'm super excited by that. It's so pretty. So thank you so much for watching my lengthy unboxing. I just wanted to really just express how much I love this design, these pieces. RockLove is just continuing to make amazing pieces, and I'm so happy that they are creating Star Wars fashion like this for fans and shipping internationally, and being just a company that I'm really happy to support with my wallet when they make things as beautiful as this. So thank you so much for coming along and watching my unboxing. I'll have more photos of these on the website shortly, and may the Force be with you.
If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a like, check out our other videos, and subscribe for alerts about new uploads. Thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.